Hi.
You have stumbled upon or perhaps intentionally ended up here at my podcast, Actual Leigh. No matter the path that led you here, I hope that you will hang out and join me for a truly enjoyable conversation. Let's get started. Just get a little sass there. Hey everybody, welcome to Actual Leigh. We are here with Ronnie Gross Jr. You include the junior in everything, right? Because it
Yeah, I
says Ronnie
do.
Gross there, but yeah, okay. And we actually just like connected recently on like Instagram and I think like now TikTok and stuff because you had this video that was made with Elmwood Productions. I haven't really talked about them, but they made one of my puppets, and I don't really talk about my puppets a lot here either, but we'll get to that. And I was like, the video is so cool. It was just like, oh my God, this is so cool. And then that was just kind of, and then
It
I
was
just,
it was so much fun. It was like
yeah.
going to summer camp. Like I flew to Connecticut. I'm from Florida, so like I flew into Connecticut and my friend picked me up and drove me to the house, and then we just played with puppets for 2 days, and then by the end of it we're like, oh no, we have to say goodbye. It was so sad.
It looked like it was so much fun. That was like the first question I was gonna ask you is just
Yeah.
like what was it like? Because like I'm on the other side where I do the puppeteering, but I've never gotten to do it with anyone else. So I've seen some pictures of like the chaos that happens beneath the camera line,
Right, right.
with the bodies and the arms
Uh,
and
that was like, that's always something I've been interested in. Like, I've always like, what is below the frame, to borrow a phrase, but, no, just to give a little bit of backstory, I am a singer songwriter in Orlando, Florida. I have a song, "Son of a Bitch, Everything Is Fine," and my buddy Nick Young, he used to live down in Florida. We used to work together at Disney World, and then he moved up to Connecticut with his wife, who works for ESPN. So they're based out of Connecticut. So he started networking with people in at ESPN, and they said, "Hey, we would love for you to join. Like, we've got this like little group, Elmwood Productions. Come hang out with us." And they are a puppet production company based out of Bristol, Connecticut. One thing led to another. He said, "Oh, I've got this buddy. He does music. He wants to do a music video. I think you guys would do a really great job." So we got hooked up that way, and we made a music video with puppets for my song "Son of a Bitch, Everything's Fine."
and they made the
And
puppet look like you.
they made John made the puppet for me. He is phenomenal. He like the puppet is so good. It's sitting on my dresser right now. It watches me while I sleep. I put a little hat on it just to kind of let him give him a little more personality. But it was so great. I mean, just like meeting everybody for 48 hours and just playing around and drinking beer and making a music video. It was like it was like doing an episode of the Muppet Show.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I watched an episode just the other day. It was the Paul Williams episode, and it's just a bunch of that's actually a really funny episode that I happened to come across because he does his song "Old Fashioned Love Song," and he just has like a bunch of different like mini Paul William puppets popping up all over the place. I was like, this is exactly the same. So it was a dream come true as somebody
Yeah.
who has grown up with the Muppets, and I get to make a video with puppets with a puppet that looks just almost like me. It's
Yeah,
great.
the energy is so good. I've like posted it and like
Yeah.
I posted it on my YouTube. I posted
Thank you
like and I
very
keep
much.
forcing it on people. Like I'm like, you must watch. Also, the song itself, like it's like you wrote with you knew what was coming without knowing what was you knew that
I
everybody
did
was gonna
not
need
know.
this song. And it's like if you have not, I will make sure it's linked, but you guys have to listen to it because it's literally like you're kind of just getting this like empathizing sort of like hug from it, right?
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like
yeah. Just a very aggressive hug.
yeah, it's
Yeah, I mean, I was just playing the guitar one day, and I think I was just like, ah, god damn it, son of a bitch, I'm tired of this shit. And then to kind of like open the door a little on the process of that, I there is a song that I grew up with. My mother, God bless her, she raised me on all these different like Rick Charette and Parachute Express, and but Rick Charette's a very local like children's artist, but Parachute Express had a little bit of stuff with Disney back in the 90s, and they had a song called Polka Dots, Checks and Stripes, and I remember playing this. I remember playing my song for my mother, and she's like, "Oh, I can't believe this! You so much cursing," and then I go, now listen to this, and it's not identical, but the vibe is there. It's kind of got like this little like New Orleans march kind of thing that goes with it, and she's like, "Son of a bitch!" I'm like, "I know."
Yeah, like in the video, the where you have with the Simpsons characters at the end,
Yes.
the big, yeah, that you doing that walk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the kind of vibe that I just want, because it's such a like the song itself is like everything's falling apart, everything's on fire, but you kind of just have to keep going. And so if you just smile and you just like doot 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 doot, and you're just walking down the street with your little characters, I think that's kind of what happens in my head all of the time anyway. So
yeah, I'm kind of like that too. I just kind of keep like things just keep happening, and I just kind of go, all right, so we're doing this now, and I continue finding my joy in things and just being like present in those things, and it allows me to kind of just enjoy being alive, even though things are
pretty fucking terrible. Am I allowed to curse on this, by the way?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Yeah. It's I liken it to like always just getting punched in the face. Like, okay, here we go. Keep going. Just because you have to, because if you stop, then you die. And so and you can't die. So just gotta keep smiling and
that would
keep
be terrible.
going. Oh yeah, that'd be so terrible. Oh no.
So
oh no, the sweet release of death. Oh no.
Yes, playing Don't Fall on Me.
Please, no, not right here.
Literally just had a conversation with my son about that like you don't want to die, but sometimes if it happened,
you know what? Would I be mad?
So a little dark.
Yeah. Son of a bitch, I'm tired of this shit.
Exactly.
That's
do you have like a favorite Muppet?
It's such a
and it doesn't have
question.
to be like one. It just like you can choose a grouping of favorites.
Okay, I will take that and I'll run with that. So I'm always a fan of like the original, not the original, but like the trio. So whether it's like Mickey, Donald, Goofy, or in this case, Kermit, Fozzie, Gonzo. Like I love them as a trio. I think they play off of each other really, really well. I love, hands down, he's one of my favorite characters of all time, Chip the IT guy. So if you don't know, do you know who Chip the IT guy? I'm gonna have to explain this for everybody. Chip the IT guy is literally just like, it was a one-off character in Muppets from Space. He's just a guy. He has got like an egg-shaped head. He's got a little tuft of hair, and he's just got these giant bulging eyes. But the pupils is where he's blinking. Mm-hmm. And it's just like you just see like the blacks of his eyes just like disappear as like his like the puppeteer's just like making it blink, and he's such a dumb character. He's such a small character. They kind of like fleshed him out a little bit. Yes, I love him. I love him. They kind of fleshed him out for the ABC Muppets sitcom back in like 2015. And he's literally just, he's in the background, and then people are like, who are you? I'm Chip, the IT guy. He's just the weirdest dude. And his eyes are so creepy. Everybody hates him. I love Chip the IT guy. I have this this headcanon episode of like a full 22-minute episode of Chip the IT guy, and he's just like he's by day he's the janitor or the IT guy, but at night he turns into this James Bond type hero, and he's saving the world, and he's he's saving the girl, and then he has the girl in his arms, and she goes, "Who are you?" He goes, "I'm Chip, the IT guy."
So good.
I want it to happen. I want it to make it happen, but
I need to watch the 2015 one because I didn't even know it existed.
oh my God, it's the best. I'm literally making my roommate watch it right now, and we will just sit in the couch, and we are just dying laughing. It is it is some of the greatest writing of all time. Another one of my favorite characters by the Muppet, Bobo the Bear. I love Bobo the Bear. There's a scene that it is what is I think one of the best jokes ever written of all time. It is Fozzie is talking to his girlfriend about something, and she embarrasses him and says oh well, when he gets out of the shower he shakes it off like a bear, and he goes, well yeah, I'm a bear. I mean, Bubba, you shake off after a shower, right? And Bubba goes, I have an associate's degree, I use a towel. It's just the way he says the delivery, Bill Barretta, the way he delivers lines is just it's just gold. So, two of my favorite characters, Chip the IT guy and Bobo the Bear.
So have you watched any of the movies from Elmwood?
I have. So Bernice 2 was the one that they were really pushing when I was up there before. I've seen a couple of their shorts on YouTube. It's very cute. I mean, the production value that they have. John has a whole shed in his backyard. And he brought me into his shed the first day that I was there, and he's got materials and puppets, and his basement is just filled with boxes of puppets and set pieces for their shoots and everything. And just the way that they are able to just streamline a whole puppet production. Ah, yes, perfect. I recognize John. Who is this little guy?
His name is Dusty.
Dusty.
So, yeah.
What's up, Dusty?
I don't voice them. They just
No.
animate them.
Sure.
So, and
yeah, because I've seen a couple of your TikToks.
Yeah.
Very
I'm not
cool.
good at the becoming someone else, but I can.
Sure.
But yeah, he. That was I think it took him a year for me to get him because John was so busy with other stuff.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then,
yeah.
But he totally hooked me up with this guy. He's cool.
He's a
So I
cool guy.
watched Head, their movie Head. I haven't
Okay.
watched Bernice 2. I did pay for it so that I have access to it, and then I
Sure.
just keep forgetting because brain.
Sure.
But we watched Head. We did a movie night on Discord because you can watch it on YouTube. So we
Nice.
just streamed it through there. And I tend to not look into things before I watch them. So we're just
Mhm.
watching a slasher. It's like a puppet slasher film, right?
That's
Where
fun.
it's amazing. And there's even puppet sex and puppet nudity, which we didn't know. So the whole group got real what? Huh? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
When you're not
yeah.
expecting a sex scene, it's a little uncomfortable, but then it's puppets. It was amazing. It was so much fun.
I have
And
puppet
everybody was
nudity.
just this was so much cooler than we were expecting. Because when I
Hell
told them
yeah,
we were going to
dude.
watch a puppet movie, they were like, uh-huh, yeah, sure, Leigh. And then, we all had
And
a really
then
good
lo
time.
and behold,
Yeah.
yeah,
And that was the beginning of me being I must follow these people and share their shit all the time.
they're great, man. They're such a cool group of people and so nice, all of them. I mean, I have fallen in love with all of these people who are in several states away. I mean, I was up in New York a couple of weeks ago, and I was going up to officiate a wedding on Sunday, and then my dad said, "Hey, I'll hire you for a gig in Albany on Saturday." So I got the whole week to just kind of chill, and my friends don't live there anymore. My family's working, so I'm kind of just what am I gonna? I can go to Connecticut and just hang out with them. So I went up and I got to hang out and say thank you for a video and let's have a party. And it was a great time. I had a great time. So
Awesome.
It was a good time. I
friends.
love them. I love them.
Yeah. It's so
And then
awesome.
John and Tricky, like 2 days after I got back, I had a gig and they happened to be in Orlando. They're like, we want to come see you play. And they saw me at some empty bar. And they're like, cool, keep playing for us. I was like, all right, cool.
Those are like the best shows, you know?
Oh,
Like
yeah.
there's I know like it's the when you have like a crowd, there's that, but then when you get to have the intimate ones where you have like the people really enjoying, there's something that's really cool. I
Oh,
grew up
yeah.
in Sonoma County, Northern California during that era before like Faith No More and Green Day got really big and
Mhm.
stuff. So they were local bands that were
Sure.
so having the opportunity to see like Primus with like a small group or
Damn.
and then there was like one band that did really well, but he played a couple unspoken shows after he got big, and like I actually got to go see where there was like 10 of
Oh,
us, and I
ooh,
and I was just like, so cool.
that's so
Like,
cool. That's
yeah,
really cool. Oh man, I've been telling my friends because like obviously I want people to come and see me perform, but it's really interesting when I have like a show of like 5 people or 10 people and it's just like okay this is what we're gonna do and then I kind of just start playing for myself
hmm
and then people are like oh okay I see what this guy's doing and then
yeah,
people start to like finally like get invested and then I'm like okay well here's the reason why I wrote this song and like now I could like actually have a conversation with people and I don't like to think of it as like performing for people. I like to think of it as like I'm hanging out with people.
yeah,
Cause like
yeah.
I'm just here with a guitar. I'm taking an edible before this. Like I'm just hanging. We're
Yeah.
hanging, dude. So it's just like yeah, talk to me. Like let me know what you want to hear and tell me about your life. I love finding out about people's like lives that like they don't like to share with the world
Yeah.
because like I want to know. I just want to meet everybody. I just want to see the world and I want to meet everybody and I love talking to people. This is hard for me because this is I guess an interview for me, but like I want to know so much about you.
No, it's a like I said, it's like totally about being an authentic conversation. So it's like if you
Yeah.
want to, it can go like because it'll just like go back and forth. It's to me, I'm the same way. Like I just had this epiphany yesterday about my content because there's this pressure to niche, right? And to have this
Hmm.
like niche, and
I
I
saw you
can't
post about
niche.
this.
I
Yes.
cannot niche. Like, and then I went, I'm the niche. If people enjoy my
Yes.
content, they
Yes.
enjoy me because my shit
Yes.
is all over the place. And part of
Hmm.
like for me, like when I put my stuff out there, I'm not trying to like the idea of going viral, like that sounds awful. Like I just want to have people that enjoy what I'm doing and support it. And if I make friends along the way, cool. But
Yeah.
it's like I love being accessible and be able to like connect with people. If people comment on my stuff, I always respond.
I have to.
And, that's part of like doing the podcast for me is sort of like an extension of I used to be when I would go out and travel and do this, people always come and tell me their life stories. Like strangers, they just see
Yeah.
me and they're like, that's the person. I'd be like traffic court. Dude starts telling me like 20 years of like stuff about it. And it's not stuff that you just would tell anybody. It's like I know really personal things about a lot of people. And it's like when I started doing the podcast, it wasn't my plan to do the people thing. I was going to talk about like medical shit and science and stuff. And
Mhm.
then it was like, but what I'm actually better at the people thing. So it's kind
Oh
of evolved into
yeah.
this. And
Yeah.
that's why I love that. I love like getting to have these conversations, learning about other people, talking about like whatever, a lot of times I'll be like, I don't feel like I got enough information. I'm going to have them back on in 6 months, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And just, and then sharing it because I feel like that's ultimately what people want, right? Is to be able to relate and connect with other people.
if
You
you
know, no,
if they see somebody that is being authentically themselves then they're going to gravitate towards that person because
yeah,
like because everybody's tired of the mass produced bullshit and whatever but like if you see somebody who's being genuine to themselves you're like oh I want that I want to see what that is
people
so
are hungry for that.
yeah
Yeah, and I'm like, I don't know
yeah
how not to. I never learned to mask at all. Like,
very
I can't.
funny coming from you because this is the first time I'm seeing you out of your clown regalia
I know,
so
but even in clown, I'm just me. I
sure
have no personas. It's
sure
just, you know, and I'm like, I make all those faces without the makeup. Like, it just just looks different with the makeup, and
sure sure
yeah. That that was a fast because I don't wear makeup like at all. So and when I
Me
started doing that, my
neither.
friends were like, "Who the hell are you? What is this? Who is this person?" I'm like, "It's a new part." But that
That's
started
cool, dude.
everything else, like doing art and puppets and everything. It just like exploded into,
Sure.
yeah, it's fun.
Hell yeah,
That's
dude.
it. Fun.
Man.
Yeah. So how did you like music besides like your like exposure, your mom exposing you to different stuff? Like how did you get into the writing and performing and being like, I want to do that?
Oh man. Well, I mean, I started very, very, very young. I third grade choir, fourth grade band, and kept going until I never stopped. I picked up the guitar, I think, in ninth grade, and just kind of taught myself. Just taught myself a couple of chords and started strumming along to some songs. And I think the first song that I actually like played start to finish was a song that I wrote that I will never perform for people because it is just ninth grade boy horrible cancelable bulls nonsense. And I think I was this, the only reason why I'm talking about it now is because it came up recently. I was like, oh my god, I can't. Remember that song? I was like, pineapples and Paul McCartney. I was like, what? That's a horrible, horrible song. Just not even just like it's the first song he ever wrote. But it's like, oh man, that was some 2007 boy nonsense. So I evolved from that, and then I started writing with some friends from school, and I still play some of those songs today. I mean, I'm playing Cigar and Miss You and whatever. So I to answer your question, I just started and then I never stopped. And I've always been like performing my entire life. I mean, I did theater in high school and college and middle school, and I liked being on stage and performing and getting that reaction from people. And so then when I fast forward, I moved to Florida, and I moved back to Florida. I'm not going to give you my whole life story, but I moved back to Florida thinking I was going to work for Disney again, and then I instead quit my job and just started playing music full time. And I said, well, I don't have any other skills, so I just booked a bunch of gigs, and I'm paying my bills with my guitar 3 years later.
That's pretty cool. Like, was
It's
that like
cool.
scary when you decided to do it, or did?
Terrifying. My parents were horrified. They're like, "Are you sure?" I was like, "Yeah, look at all this money I'm making." They're like, all right, see how this goes." And yeah, now we're almost I think we're at like 3.5 years now since I've quit my day job. But now I'm always looking for other ways to perform, just because like I'm doing the covers, and I'm trying to get my original music out there as much as possible. But when you are just one man, it is so hard, so you have to do other projects just to kind of scratch the itch, just so you're not
Yeah.
playing to an empty bar every night. I'm actually starting on Monday. I'm training for a role at Universal in Orlando. There's like it's a mocap suit that I have to get into, and they give me like a face guard and a microphone, and my body will generate an image on a screen that's going to be Poe from Kung Fu Panda.
Oh.
And I'm just going to be Poe, and I'm just going to be Jack Black and teach kids kung fu. So I'm doing that, and next, actually, in a couple of weeks, we're doing a staged reading of A Muppet Christmas Carol. And I am the ghost of Christmas Present. Like, know me better, man. So I get to just be a Muppet again, which is
Yeah.
the best. So
Yeah,
yeah, go
I
ahead.
was gonna ask you how formative Jack Black was in your humor and style and stuff.
all of
Yeah.
it. He is like the centerpiece of my Mount Rushmore of influences.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just at this point I'm collecting Jack Black rolls like Infinity Stones. I mean, I did School of Rock the musical. That was the first musical that I did in Orlando, and that was daunting because Dewey Finn is the show, and he's got to wrangle kids, and he's got to play the guitar, and he's got to sing, and he's got to do all these different things. Now I've got Poe, and so now I guess now I have to do Nacho Libre the musical, and just somebody's got. I think that might be my next project. I think I'm gonna write Nacho Libre the musical.
Do it. Do it.
have to with puppets, of course.
Yes, that would be so much fun. I raised my son on Tenacious D because I'm awesome,
good.
and we've seen them live together 3 times. The last time he actually took me for my birthday. So, but the first time we saw them was at BlizzCon, so that's like double nerd. And
with
epic.
like the one that like they recorded and it's online, and like Kyle's wearing like the lizard suit instead of the wizard suit. Is that the one?
Yeah, I think so.
With Dave Grohl on the drums.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
I'm so jealous. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was,
That's
and they
cool.
they wouldn't tell you who was playing. It's always a surprise. So we didn't even know. I took him. I just took my kid who was like a tween to go to BlizzCon because I played Warcraft 2 obsessively and I was pregnant. Cool. So we always joke that's why he's such a like fan of like some of the Blizzard games and stuff.
Sure.
And then it was Tenacious D, and it was just like the most perfect, amazing
There are 2 people that if they showed up on stage unannounced, I scream.
Yeah,
and that's only happened once. It's Jack Black, and the other one is Weird Al Yankovic. He is. It's a fight to the top between Weird Al and Jack Black.
Yeah.
But I just a very quick story because I love the story. I went to the Taylor Hawkins tribute show in L.A. A couple years ago, and I am where I did mushrooms for the first time. So this is a wonderful experience. I'm just seeing all of my favorite bands come out, and just like every song I've ever heard on the radio is at this show right now. And so then the arena is dark. It is black. And so then all of a sudden, all you hear is ring, ging, 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 ging. And I'm like, no. And Jack Black comes out and he starts telling a story about Taylor Hawkins, and I'm on mushrooms and my face is melting. And he goes, ladies and gentlemen, Rush! And Rush comes out. And so I had to make the decision, am I going to watch Rush? Or am I going to watch Jack Black watch Rush? Because Jack Black, because I'm like on the side of the stage and I see him on the opposite side of and he's fucking jamming. And I'm like, I don't know who to watch, my hero or Rush.
That's amazing. Like what even without the mushrooms, the sensory experience of just wow.
God, it was fantastic.
Yeah,
that was the greatest show I've ever been to.
Are you familiar with Dr. Demento?
Of course I'm familiar with
So I grew up with Dr. Demento. I was my parents like they were really into like a lot of so I grew up with like George Carlin, all these stand-up comedians, and we had them on vinyl, listening to all the time. Yeah. And then I would listen to Dr. Demento every Sunday evening on the radio. It's the only fan club I ever joined. I saved up my money when I was like 12. I still have the signed picture somewhere. So that those music of like, when Weird Al started showing up on that show before like he was on MTV and stuff. Mm-hmm. And I always like change lyrics. Like I don't remember lyrics very well, so it's really easy for me to just slip, right? And I do it all the time. Like when I'm gaming, you'll hear me start like singing like lute songs, and I change the lyrics to songs that's about lute instead. But and I'm like, it totally comes for that. So Weird Al is just very like just omnipresent, but
Weird Al is all around us.
Yes, exactly.
He is everywhere.
But I got to see Mystery Science Theater live, and he was one of the people. It was awesome. Unfortunately, the movie was Twilight, which even though it was really funny that they were doing Twilight, it was still like Twilight.
It's still Twilight.
So it was very dry. But but him and Patton Oswalt, it was like
that's
so fun.
That's so good.
Yeah. Great. I figured you to join. I'm like, I never get to tell people about that. So.
All the time. Please. All of the time. Man, he's the best. I mean, my friends hate me because every time a song comes on, I'm like, I will start singing the Weird Al words because I know that
Yeah.
better than the other one. Okay, sorry. I thought I got an email that I needed, but I did not. It's just some people asking for me for money. Sorry. You can cut
Yeah.
this out if you want to. Anyway,
I'm too
Weird Al
lazy
is
for that.
everywhere. Like people, I have seen him a billion times. I'm flying across the country twice next year because his tour is out of this world. He's doing 5 nights in Vegas. I'm going to the first night in Vegas. I'm sitting in the second row,
Wow.
and then I never thought I'd see the day. I said this from the very beginning. If he ever played here, I'm going to be there, and by some grace of humanity, he is finally playing Madison Square Garden, and I said I got to see my boy in Madison Square Garden because how do you
Yeah.
not?
I saw your post was so yeah,
Oh
that's cool.
man, how do you not? I
Yeah.
saw him. I flew up to see him. That was a fun day actually. I flew up to see him at Carnegie Hall because that's insane.
Right?
And so I bought those tickets like a year in advance, and I was going home, and I told my mom about it, and then I happened to see an ad for Sesame Street the musical, and like Weird Al was at 8 o'clock at night. Sesame Street the musical was at 11 o'clock in the morning. So double feature.
Yeah.
So I brought my mom along. It was the most Ronnie day ever. We just went and saw Sesame Street and then hung out in the city all day and got drunk. And then we went and saw Weird Al. My mom and I dressed up as Bert and Nerdy. I was like, we're going to be so out of place. And then like, how did I think I was going to be out of place at a Weird Al concert?
Right?
The people were wearing scrubs and have a fake chainsaw. Like I'm fine. If I'm Ernie, I'm fine.
That's so much fun. That's like an amazing day.
It was a great day.
Yeah, I haven't had the chance to see him like perform live. It's like it's on my list, but
Oh, this tour is going to be insane. He's adding like this. This has now turned into an advertisement for Weird Al's tour. Weird Al Yankovic, bigger and weirder. He's adding like 4 people to the band. He's adding background singers. Puddles Pity Party is opening for him. This is going to be an insane show. So
Puddles is amazing. I've seen him
I'm
live.
so excited to see Puddles.
Yeah.
Very weird segue. Have you seen Terrifier 3 yet?
I haven't seen any of those movies. Yeah.
Oh man, I've never seen a Terrifier, and then I saw Terrifier 3 last night. I took 20 milligrams and then sat in a theater all alone, and boy howdy, that was terrifying.
I like horror, but I like story-driven horror, so I tend to
This
not
is
be drawn
very
towards.
gory.
Yeah, I tend
I
to be like
saw
I get like kind of bored, so with the gore. But the
nah.
women on okay, so I'm in the horror community
Okay.
on Twitter, not necessarily. I mean, I like horror, but it's more like they just sort of brought me in. They're a very friendly
Sure.
community,
Sure.
and the women like sexualize him.
What?
Yeah, and I'm like,
What?
okay,
Pourquoi?
I'm like, I don't know. I feel like I need to watch it and see if I can figure it out because like
I don't see any of that because
Yeah.
I saw him do some unspeakable things, and I won't say because it's spoilers. But oh God,
yeah,
I was blasted, and I am alone in the theater, so I'm like reacting like how I would if I were in my. I'm screaming because it's horrible, and from like halfway through the movie, I have to go to the bathroom. I'm like, okay, like whatever. I'm high. I'm texting. I'm whatever. I'm just gonna go to the bathroom, and so I start to leave the theater, and the way it works, like you had to like go through like you go down the hallway and then you turn and then you're in the theater. So you have to like go through the thing again. You have to turn the corner. It's like you do a 180. And so I turn the corner and then there is a man hiding behind the corner. And I go, ah! And I reacted I think appropriately. And this
For
man
coming out of that movie, absolutely.
coming out of that movie, and it's like the middle of the movie, so like shit is happening right now, and I turn the corner, I see this man, I'm about to lay him out, which I've never hit anybody in my life. This was just such an involuntary reaction. Because I get up from the movie and I'm like, I look around because like now I'm getting freaked out. And I'm like, is there anybody behind me? And then I'm like, okay, I'm safe. And then I see a human and I go, ah! And he falls to the ground. He goes, oh! And I go, oh man, I'm really sorry. He goes, is this a horror movie? And I go, yes. He goes, oh, I'm so sorry. If you had punched me, I would have let that happen because that's my bad. I go, yeah, you're damn right. Oh, it's horrifying.
That's so funny. And you both have a story to tell, but he doesn't know the other side of it.
Yes, yeah. Well, he like poked his head in because I think he like finished a movie or whatever. He just wanted to see what was happening, and so he's like, he just poked his head in, and then a large, because I'm a big dude. I'm like 6'2", and I'm 270, and I'm just a man walking down the stairs. I hope he's okay. I should call him.
So if you ever want to watch an edible, appropriate horror clown movie, there's a movie called Shakes the Clown.
Shakes the Clown.
Yeah, and I'm not going to say anything about it. It's not terrifying. It's horror, absolutely.
Sure.
But it's funny.
I'm into it.
Yeah.
I'm into it.
You got quiet, and I can't tell if it's my earbuds or you.
Is it me pulling away from the microphone?
I'm not sure because you're still quiet.
Really?
Yeah. I'll have to trust that the.
Am I still quiet?
Yeah, it's done it a few times, but it'll come back pretty quickly. This time it's sticking.
Let me see if I can. Is this helping?
I've been trying to fight with because.
Hello. Testing 1 2.
That's better.
That's better. Yeah, I just raised my gain. I raised my gain a little bit, but
yeah, it's interesting because Zoom will automatically adjust to level. So the fact that you got quiet, it shouldn't be. You shouldn't be getting where it's hard for me to hear. So I'm like, what are you doing, Zoom? But I also set it to record our voices separately, so I'll get separate files. So I will be able to. It's just it keeps like reverting it, so it better do it this time. Zoom.
Would you like to restart?
No.
Okay.
No. It's fine. I either tweak it or I'll edit some of it out, or it's fine.
Okay. Sounds good.
I keep it as easy as possible because like the more complicated it gets, the less fun it is.
So, yeah, I get that.
Yeah. But
anyway.
Oh my God. I'm trying to think if I've ever seen a horror movie in the theater proper. I mean, I think like early when I was much younger, like Hellraiser and stuff like that. But I don't think I've seen any of the modern jumpy jump ones. I saw World War Z in the theater.
Oh.
And we left, my son and I both left, our shoulders hurt and our stomachs hurt because even though we knew what was going to happen, the buildup and the suspension caused like this, and that's part of why I don't like is when a movie relies on suspension instead of story, it's too stressful and it's not like interesting. So you're sitting there the whole time going, I know what's going to happen, but
just let it happen.
Yeah. So there's some good horror out there, and then there's some of it that is not for me, and that's okay.
Yeah, I'm not a huge horror guy, if you couldn't tell by the everything about me. But
so you went and saw Terrifier in the theater alone.
Alone, yes. Yes.
Why then?
Just because I needed something to do while I was waiting to drive my roommate to the airport at 3:00 in the morning. I needed something to do, and it was either that or masturbate. So I said, "Let's go see a movie."
It's like you're not in your like teens or 20s anymore when you choose the horror movie over masturbation.
Oh boy, yeah.
do you play video games or anything
I
like
didn't
that?
know where that question was going. So, do you masturbate often? Or...
Yeah, my brain just goes doink doink doink. It doesn't
Sure,
even like.
sure.
That felt
What
like a
was the
natural
question?
segue for me.
That was a hell of a segue. Whatever it was,
Yeah.
so fun. What was the segue?
I'm trying to think of something else to ask, so it's not the same thing as before. Just to fuck with you.
Oh,
I
good.
asked if you played video games.
Not really. No, no.
No,
I play the guitar. I
that's fair.
yeah. I
That's
do
fair.
that and watch Desperate Housewives. That's all I do now.
I've never watched that.
Oh my God, Desperate Housewives, the best show in the world. It's not the best show in the world. It's The Sopranos is the best show in the world. But you could say any plot line from Desperate Housewives, and it's the most insane thing you've ever seen.
That's a
Like,
reality TV show, right?
no,
So, reality.
that's the real Housewives
Oh,
of
okay.
insert city
Desperate
here.
Housewives is a drama.
Desperate Housewives, yes, is a sitcom, not a sitcom. It was on ABC or whatever. It's four women. It's four housewives. Eva Longoria is one of them. You could literally say anything. Lynette has cancer, and then her house was destroyed by a tornado in the same episode. Ah, it's insane.
So
Yeah,
it's like, it's like how Grey's Anatomy, those people go through the most traumatic things every
yeah.
season.
Oh,
And I'm
yeah.
just like, you know?
Oh yeah, there was like I saw I was dating somebody and she was watching it and something like there was a guy who like was shooting up the hospital while they're trying to like save. I was in God.
Yeah.
It's just
it's
it's the stress of it that
Yeah.
that makes you. I guess it just draws you in, and then you're like, okay, it's done. I'm gonna go.
yeah. I know. I started
God.
watching Grey's Anatomy. It was new, and I'm not real into like that kind of. It's my like Grey's Anatomy and the spin-off, the Fire Station one. Those are like my like candy TV, you know,
Your
like
guilty
the
pleasures.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it's so ridiculous. I'm just like, why do I keep watching? But I keep watching. I'm just
You
like,
keep
what are they going to
watching
do to him now?
For real, man. I'm on. I just got to season 7 of 8 for Desperate Housewives, and I am so scared of how it's going to end. They brought a character back from season 1. I was like, how? This man was in jail for life. Crazy.
I watch the weirdest stuff because I like craft and watch stuff. So I'll just put on like Korean revenge drama stuff or whatever. But I think my favorite go-tos are like the sort of formulaic crime shows, sort of like Law and Order, but the British ones and the Swedish ones, and they're better written in general.
Sure.
So, and I know they're very dry, but for some reason they're very interesting to me.
It works, dude. They've figured it out. They have a formula and they stick to it, and it's just popping out content. They've cracked the code.
Yep. I think also I get mad when I watch TV and the plot is based on lies. And like American TV relies on lying a lot to drive their stories.
Oh, sure.
And a lot of when you watch TV shows in like other countries, a lot of times that's not very common. And I think that's part of why I like the crimey stuff is it's not so lie driven because I get really stressed. I'll be like, why are they don't even need to lie about that. Why are they doing that?
Sure,
oh.
Yeah. As the audience, you have the perspective that the characters do not have, because you have the zoomed out perspective.
Yeah.
And it's just like, well, of course, you dummy. Why aren't you doing the thing? And I'm like, well, that's why they do the thing, because now it keeps you watching.
Yep.
It's maddening. Yeah. It's psychological torture at this point.
Desperate Housewives. Maybe I'll have to try watching that.
You gotta try it, man.
I might get mad at it, but I'll let you know.
You will get mad at it, and I if you do, I will be there every step of the way for you. Anyone watching, you can DM me on Instagram at Ronnie Gross Jr. and tell me anything you want to tell me about Desperate Housewives, because by the time this comes out, I'll probably be done with it. So I'll be well versed in the Desperate Housewives cinematic universe.
I watched shit. What's the name of like what? Why does my brain do that with this show? It's the one with the time traveling lady. It's like a romance thing, and she goes back through time, and now I can't remember the name of it. It's really irritating. Like she goes back like 200 years, and there's like this epic love story with the dude. And
is it Phil of the Future? It's not Phil of the Future. It's not Phil of the
I wish it was that.
I wish it were Phil of the Future.
But I yelled at that one a lot. I was like doing a bunch of crafting, and I don't really know what anyone looks like when I'm crafting. I just hear them, and I was just like, that plot hole is too big.
Yeah.
You can't change the rules. You can't say these are the rules for time travel and then change the rules later down the road.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's like weird. So
no, you got to commit to something. You got to either if you're going to establish time travel rules, fine. Back to the Future is correct. I don't care what Avengers Endgame says. Stick to it.
Yeah.
Commit to it.
Exactly.
Bullshit.
So do you have like songs that are, because I always wonder when I listen to musicians perform, if are there songs that are like kind of boring to perform?
Yes. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I have a list of songs that I will refuse to play, and I will tell people to their faces on the microphone to an entire bar, fuck you, I'm not playing that song. Sorry, bad time sip.
That was perfect timing.
No, Don't Stop Believin', I'm Yours by Jason Mraz, anything by Train, Brown Eyed Girl, Wagon Wheel, that's like the top 5 like songs that are like I do not want to play those songs.
Journey, people always be asking for Journey.
Fucking love Journey. I love Journey. Journey's got some fucking hits, but it's always Don't Stop Believin'. And
they're like such a group of
Glee.
like really good musicians, and you almost don't know because the way their music was very like popish, you know, but then when you start digging into it, you're like, oh shit, these guys had like training and skills and stuff, you know.
Lights is a beautiful song. What's the it's like Lovin', Touchin', Squeezin'. That one's one of my favorite songs of all time. I should learn the name of it, but it's such a good song. Yeah, like it's just like there's so many other songs that you could pick, but you want me to do the one where, and it's you know why I hate Don't Stop Believin'? This is an exclusive. You know why I hate Don't Stop Believin'? It's because I can't sing it. It's so high, and if I bring it down, it kind of diminishes the ceremony of Don't Stop Believin'. But everybody wants to just scream it, and I should just do it. But I'm just like, oh God, I don't want to. Don't make me sing. Don't make me sing.
Do you ever do Violent Femmes?
Yeah, every once in a while. If somebody asks for it, if I'm feeling it.
I feel like the vocalist's voice is so particular that it's really hard to sing Violent Femmes well if you're not Violent Femmes.
There's a lot of songs like that. There's a lot of songs that like if you can't do it, don't do it. Or flip side, I only want to see the original artist do that song. I don't want to hear anybody else do that song. That's the I'm Yours. That's Don't Stop Believin'. Hey Jude. Let It Be. I've seen Paul McCartney a couple of times now, and now every time he's doing his 20-minute encore of Hey Jude, I'm like, I'm in it, man. I'm in it. That's a fucking Beatles singing. I'm into it. But if it's anybody else singing at Sun Creek Brewery, I want to blow my brains out.
Yeah, it's funny how there's definitely some songs that are like that. You'd probably appreciate that, Cheryl. I have a story that you would appreciate.
Please.
I saw Violent Femmes live many moons ago, and it was awesome because they're awesome performers. But Les Claypool was in the audience, and they found out he was in the audience and asked him to come up and play. And so he played, I don't remember which song it was that he played, but he did it his style and everything. But
Nice,
like the bass
nice.
player from Violent Femmes was like, I'm not worthy to less
Yeah,
Claypool,
yeah,
but like
yeah,
the bass
yeah.
player of Violent Femmes is amazing too. Like, it was epic. It was,
Dude, that's so cool. Man,
yeah.
seeing anybody jump up on stage with a band is just it's always fun.
Yeah. It was just like, whew, and there's a lot of people you could tell in the crowd didn't know who
Sure.
Primus was. So they were
Sure.
like, but for those of us that did, we're just like,
You're like,
yeah,
yes! Sure.
exactly.
Sure.
Just crazy. I doubt there's like recordings of that because that was before, that was like the World Wide Web might have just kind of started being a
Oh
thing.
yeah, you might not
So
have. Yeah, that's so crazy to think about. I never thought about that. That there are just decades just lost to time because we couldn't record it.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
what. Excuse me. That is a wild thought to think about. That's something I never considered before. Wow. Sad.
yeah. It is. There's so many cool things like on the internet now that are like from when we first started having the visual aspect of the
Yeah.
internet that like were amazing at the time and people still love them now. And I'm like, and a lot of that stuff's still kind of better than a lot of the shit that comes out all the time now. And you just go back to it and be like, but look at this.
But
This is
look at this.
amazing.
It's funny because I literally had that thought the other day. I happened to watch Muppets from Space. It's on Hulu. We were watching it, and just the opening credits is just the worst CGI that you've ever seen. And I'm like, this is 1999. This is the invention of CGI. This is horrible.
It's
Terrible.
Blizzard should have been doing CGI for everybody back then because they were the only ones that did amazing CGI at that time.
Yeah.
It still would
Yeah.
look terrible now, but at the time, because I remember that not looking great even then. So.
No. No. No.
But I
it's
mean,
bad.
that's part of the cheese, though. I mean, it's
also the Muppets. So like,
you know?
whatever. if that looks bad, as long as the puppets look great, that's all I
Right.
care about at
Right.
that point.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch that because you said it's on Hulu, so
Yes.
I'm gonna have to watch that.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it in
Hot minute.
yeah,
Been a
probably since
long
my son
time.
was like a little human.
I remember. I think I might still have like the clamshell VHS in like my basement up in New York. Like it's been that long since I've watched it,
Yeah, now it's on Hulu.
and now it's on Hulu.
Is
The
that
only
special?
reason.
Is the
What?
2015 one online anywhere? Do you know?
It is
I
on
can
Disney
look it up,
Plus.
but- okay,
It is on Disney Plus.
okay. I have access to that through my friend's account. So
Perfect. Beautiful. I cannot recommend that show highly enough. It is, and you're gonna be so upset because they canceled it after one season, and
of course,
by the end of that season, you are invested because I guess like the ratings weren't super great in the first half of the show, but then the second half like it started to take off. But then Disney was like, nah, screw them, and then they canceled it, and they're like, but we ended it like this. We can't, and once you see what happens, you're gonna be so upset,
gonna be
so
salty.
upset. Oh,
They-
it's
you could do the thing with your mouth.
what thing?
Not everybody can do that.
What frown?
Yeah, but like a full on.
Sure.
I mean, notice what other people's mouths do. I'm like, hey, I could do that too.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah. Some people when they frown, it doesn't do the like full on like.
It's just accentuated by a mustache.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
I have a friend who every time I do that, she just starts like she just finds it hilarious. So she'll
Yeah.
say something and it's like kind of poopy what she said, and I'll be like, I don't like that, and she
I
just
don't like that. No. No.
maybe it's the commitment to expression because people tend not to be so supportive in their expressions. I don't know.
Sure.
I have no idea.
It's a blessing to have such an expressive face. And if you,
Right. All right, let's do the questions before I forget because I almost forgot. Yes.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
The little tube socks.
It's okay to kiss the homie. Wow, that's an image. That is an
Yeah.
image.
Yep.
I'm into it. I'm into it.
Awesome.
Cool. Questions.
Well, thanks for making time. I know you got a lot of different things going on, so
Oh my god, thank you for having me. This was so much fun.
yeah, I was like so excited the whole week. I was just like, woohoo.
I know. I'm sorry I had to reschedule, but I'm glad
No,
we
that
were
was
able to squeeze
perfect.
it
I
in.
came home that whole morning. Oh my God. Like I was on the road for 5 hours because of
Oh,
traffic to go to a
God.
15-minute doctor's appointment.
Oh, it's
And then
annoying.
and
It's
I couldn't
horrible.
sleep the night before because I had to get up so early. And then when I got home, I slept until like 3:30 or something, and I was just zonked. So I was like, I actually meant to text you and be like, it's really good that we rescheduled, but I forgot. So
Yeah, no, that's okay.
Yeah.
I am just realizing that the gig that I had today that was at 7 is now at 6. And so now I am just realizing in real time that I have to leave right now. So,
okay, yeah.
so
Well, thank you, and we'll do this again in the future at some point. Like 6 months or something like that. I'll just hit you up
please,
again.
I would
and-
love to. I would
yeah.
love to come back
Yeah.
and chat because this is so much fun.
Yeah, I had fun too. Thanks. Have a great gig tonight. Drive safely.
Thank
All
you.
the junk. Bye.
Bye bye. Son of a bitch, I'm tired of this shit.